So as you can probably tell by how much of an asshole I am, I don't really read as much as I should. However, today I came across a bunch of books that I feel like everyone should read. For instance, The Big Book of Lesbian Horse Stories. What the fuck is this about? I mean, I haven't read it, but yet, by the way, I haven't read it yet. You don't just pick up a book that has this title, Lesbian Horse Stories, and go, do they have any Mark Twain? I hope to God that this is just like a fiction novel, because I think it's okay to have like one lesbian horse story, you know? You get drunk one night in Texas, the horse just had a bath, it's a full moon, Valentine's Day. I get it, that's a one-time thing. But to have an entire book, a big book at that, this is the big book of lesbian horse stories. As if there's smaller books, this is the big one. To have an entire big book full of lesbian horse stories is just, I just think it's over the top for me, okay? Maybe not for you, but for me, it's over the top. But it sounds great, you know, if you're into that. So there you go, there's your first recommendation. I also recommend you pick up My First Little Boob Job, a children's book about a preteen girl getting her tits done. How nice. What the fuck's going on? This never happened to Cinderella. I mean, her stepmom was kind of a bitch, scrubbed the floors, you're not allowed out of the house. But now I'm starting to think it was to her benefit. You see what happens when you don't make your kids scrub the floor and you let them leave the house? They want fake tits at 10 years old. This is not how I was raised. When I was growing up, my dad always gave us two options. He's like, you got two options. You can shut up, or you can shut the fuck up. But anyway, maybe 10-year-olds getting tit jobs isn't like your thing. Which I hope it's not, because if it is, you're fucking gross. But if it's not your thing, that's fine. I've got other books. Or you can always pick up the very popular, Who Cares About Disabled People? Yeah! Who gives a fuck? You got a wheelchair? That's great! I don't give a fuck. This is actually a real book. It's part of a series that's like, Who Cares About, and then you fill in the blank. They also have another book called Who Cares About Elderly People? I don't know if this author knows that they're coming across as an asshole, but I love it. How to Poo on a Date. Finally, a book that is useful. Whenever I'm on a first date or something, I'm always too nervous to go to the bathroom, because I feel like if I'm gone for too long, she's gonna know I took a shit. Sometimes when I get back to the table, I'll just start making up lies. I'll pretend like I didn't know where the bathroom was. I'll be like, yeah, he said you heard him, second door on the right? I did second door. It was a staircase, so I went downstairs. I was in the street. I got outside. I don't know how, but yeah. I wasn't taking a shit. I got lost. I actually do that. That's not a joke. And neither is this. If I'm at a girl's house and I gotta take a shit and I'm shitting, I'll turn the faucet on so it sounds like I'm washing my hands well before I'm done shitting. Like, it sounds like there's a 10-minute hand wash going on in the bathroom. They probably think I'm insane, like, oh, he's an obvious germaphobe. 10 minutes to wash his hands just for a quick pee? Like, come on. But I'd rather them think I'm a germaphobe than them know that I took a shit. Anyway, this is the book that I need. Okay? But maybe this doesn't interest you nearly as much as it interests me. Maybe you're into cooking. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, Joe, you probably don't have any cookbook recommendations, right? Wrong, dick teeth! If you're looking to spice things up in the kitchen, you can always grab Billy Gordon's You've Had Worse Things in Your Mouth. Jesus, Billy! I love how the woman on this cover is looking at you like she just found out about your lesbian horse story. And this title, You've Had Worse Things in Your Mouth, it's like she's trying to remind you of that one person that you hooked up with that you totally regret. It's basically like, listen, if you gave Todd a blowjob, then you're gonna love the stuffed shells on page 16 because he's fucking gross. 50 ways to eat cock. Okay. Images you should not masturbate to. And then it's just a picture of a naked old man swinging an axe. What is he even swinging at, by the way? Maybe this is just like a sad story. It's a sad picture. It's an old man who completely went insane, and now the family just watches from inside the house like, yeah, up. Grandpa's back outside swinging his axe. Donald Trump pounded in the butt by the handsome Russian T-Rex who also peed on his butt and then blackmailed him with the videos of his butt getting peed on. What the fuck is going on in Russia? This is an actual book, by the way. It's written by a dude named Chuck Tingle, which, by the way, sounds like the name of someone who would write this shit. If your name's Chuck Tingle, you're either writing stuff like this or you're a fucking elf. One or the other. And if the name sounds familiar, it's because you might know him by his other novel, Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt. Or you may know a more recent novel he's written, My Ass is Haunted by the Gay Unicorn Colonel, not to be confused with Living Inside My Own Butt for 8 years, starting a business and turning a profit through common sense reinvestment and strategic targeted marketing. So, you might know him. Maybe one of those rang a bell. But anyway, that's all for this week's video. Don't forget to read for 30 minutes before you go to sleep. And if you don't know what to read, then you can read Happy Birthday Frankenstein, Now Come Pound My Butt, which again, Chuck Tingle. And that is all, and I'll see you next week. Bye.